Garbage food is becoming increasingly popular in the world, and different countries approach it differently. In England, for example, it's not hamburgers and sodas, but food is discarded due to it reaching the expiration date. Moreover, a certain time before the food has to be thrown out by restaurants and cafes, it will become available for home delivery. The developers of this project called it ecologically sound because the food waste is the third largest source of greenhouse gas emissions. So it's in everyone's interest. Experts say that in the UK alone, supermarket food waste amounts to £360 million. In general, the EU throws out more than 12 billion tons of food per year into the landfill, which roughly makes up 1% of total GDP. We're coming to a realization that the amount of products that we discard has a very negative effect on the environment and ecology, leaving a vast amount of people hungry, malnourished, etc. We have to do something about that, but this requires educating the public. I doubt that this project would have a smooth execution, that this food would be able to be easily identified and distributed. To make this project work, a systematic governmental interference is required. The problem is that no government is interested in anything other than remaining in power and squeezing out of it as much as possible for themselves and their members. Therefore, we need to start a very serious educational program to educate all members of society without exception on the fact that we have an enormous amount of food, cars, and whatnot, which we are uselessly producing, throwing away, and polluting our only environment on top of it. Year after year, we only enlarge these garbage dumps, these landfills around us. Of course, a huge capacity exists. Even 30 to 40 years ago, there was a problem of lack of food, while today, food is in excess everywhere. If we could only distribute it correctly, we wouldn't have refugees from one country to another, there would be no deaths from starvation, and we would have plenty for everyone's needs. What is the rule of proper distribution so that no one ends up using anything expired? Education. Besides educating people, nothing else will help. We need a correct relation of one person to another, for we're all a part of a single system, one family. One has to be brought up this way, has to be shown this, be convinced of it. This needs to be explained to a person on a daily basis, at every opportunity. And still, one wakes up every morning an egoist, and has to be pushed into the awareness that he is just a small part of a vast system, and that he depends on it as well as it depends on him. We speak of the external waste that has an expiration date. A person also has an internal waste that he has to curb in order for him to start his path anew. How can this be done? How can one cleanse oneself on the inside? One needs the right environment for this, which would work on him, helping him cleanse himself off of bad thoughts and desires. This can only be achieved with the influence of the right environment.